I recently met my husband's friend, and to my shock, he turned out to be someone I had an affair with multiple times in the past. Our relationship lasted from 2018 to 2020 before we broke up. He is XL. We both knew we shouldn't be sleeping together again, yet we did. Was it delicious? Yes, it was. In front of my husband, we pretended not to know each other because I didn't think my husband would be happy to learn about our past. We acted like it was our first time meeting and moved on. However, after that meeting, he searched for me on Facebook and sent me a message. We exchanged contacts and started talking. He told me he had missed me, that he had been searching for me, and that he wanted us back together. He is still unmarried at 37 years old. I told him I wasn't interested, especially now that I was married to his friend and had kids. I couldn't give him a chance. At first, he said okay, but later, he kept pressuring me until I finally agreed to meet him. Lo and behold, he managed to get me into bed. That was last night. He came over to drop off some things, and impulsively, I sat on his lap, grinding against his crotch for a few seconds. You should have seen his face. He was stunned. Then I got up, acting like nothing had happened, and went about my chores. As I was about to take a shower, he followed me. He grabbed me firmly from behind. A few minutes later, we both gave in to our desires. He is XL. We both knew what we had done. Still, was it delicious? Yes, it was. It was the first time I had done something behind my husband's back. I felt awful and wished it had never happened. I texted him afterward, telling him how much I regretted it and asked him to stay away. But I don't know what happened. Each day, I seemed to get softer. He came to beg me, and before I realized it, we had made love again 3 more times. Though I felt guilty every single day, it was almost like I couldn't resist him. I started seeing him more often, and every time we were together, he touched me. Now, I am pregnant with his child. My husband already knows about the pregnancy, but he believes the baby is his. We had both agreed we didn't want any more kids, but when I found out I was expecting, my husband insisted I should keep it. I really want to get rid of this pregnancy and pretend this never happened. I feel like this child alone could ruin my home, but I don't know what to do. One day, my husband called both my parents and his parents over. I was a few months away from giving birth. He wanted to surprise them with gifts since it was the December holiday season. When they all arrived, he handed them their gifts, then stood up to give a speech. His words left everyone in the room speechless. He announced that I had cheated on him, that the baby I was carrying wasn't his, and that he wanted our marriage to end. I was in shock. How did he know? We had been so careful the entire time. I denied everything. Then he dropped the bombshell he had undergone a vasectomy over a year ago, which meant he couldn't have gotten anyone pregnant. I was completely stunned. He had never told me about his vasectomy. He was so furious that my parents had to take me away from the house.